Just a month ago, Elizabeth Warren seemed to be left in the dust, but her campaign is now making a comeback that could cost Joe Biden the nomination and Democrats the White House in 2020. And it's all because of a new shock poll that wiped Biden's smile off his face. Elizabeth Warren was old news. Just a matter of weeks ago, pundits were declaring that her campaign was over and that she would never win the Democratic presidential nomination. But she's instead mounted a comeback that has seen the Massachusetts senator catapult herself to the top of the Democratic field alongside other major candidates like Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders. And with the Democratic presidential primary about to become the most brutal political event in history, Warren's newfound rise to prominence could be a major sign of danger for Biden, as well as the entire Democratic Party. Since Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders top a new straw poll from the progressive group MoveOn.org, illuminating how the packed field of candidates is coming into focus for more left-leaning Democratic voters just before the first debate of the 2020 cycle, states NBC News. Warren's rise to prominence among the party's left-wing base could spell serious trouble for Joe Biden down the line. He's already had to contend with Bernie Sanders attacking him from the left, but Sanders is stalling in the polls while Warren is gaining ground, and Warren's rise in the polls comes not at the expense of Sanders, but rather from other more moderate candidates in the field who have fallen in recent weeks, including Pete Buttigieg and Beto O'Rourke. The poll, released Tuesday and first reported by NBC News, shows Warren as the top choice of 38% of MoveOn's members nationwide, and the top choice of voters surveyed in the early voting states of California, Iowa, Nevada, New Hampshire and South Carolina, reports NBC News. NBC also adds, Sanders comes in second nationwide. 17% say he's their first choice, trailing Warren by more than 20 points. Former Vice President Joe Biden, 15%, and Mayor Pete Buttigieg of South Bend, Indiana, 12%, are the only other candidates to earn double-digit support. Senator Kamala Harris of California comes in with 7%. Warren's rise in the polls, if it's a sign that she's on pace to win the Democratic primary, could be the final sign that the party has moved too far to the left to death ushering Donald Trump in the 2020 presidential election. If she emerges as the nominee, the president will have an easier time making the argument about how the Democratic Party is out of touch with the American people, and that could put him on the path to winning re-election. Now, only 2% of voters say they're undecided on their first choice. In 2018, almost 30% of the respondents deemed themselves undecided on whom to support or wanting someone else not listed among the 30-plus potential choices, concludes NBC.